Hey, hello everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. So every morning I will see you to trade live. It's absolutely free. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and put on your alerts and you can see me trade the new strategy that we've been doing, which is a large cap retracement. Today I'm going to be giving sort of a recap of what happened today, as well as talk about the new scanner that I've just made available over at the $1 Million Margin Club and a bunch of other stuff. So stick around. This should be fun.
Welcome to Day Trading for Success, where the professor, a former math teacher turned full-time trader and coder, guides beginners on how to trade for a living using proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor isn't a licensed financial advisor. Always consult a pro before diving into any strategies or demos you see here. Start smart, practice in a simulator, stick to a solid day trading plan, and don't forget to log every trade. Your profits will start with preparation. Thank you for allowing us to share in your journey. Please remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can be the first to receive more of our great content.
So welcome back, everybody. So every morning I start at around 9. We go over the news that I've garnered out from basically stuff that would affect the trading of the large and mega cap. And now we're actually starting to include some just large, not more like mid cap. Sorry, some mid cap stocks as well. I'm going to show you a scanner that I just developed because we were having some trouble getting all the stocks. Well, first, let me just show you what we've been doing. So what we've been doing is based on this scanner that has a bunch of custom scripts involved. It shows what the 1 minute volume is, and it has to be at least over 100,000 in a 1 minute candle to get the kind of movement that we've been looking for. That's an average over 10 day. That's an average over 1 day. And then here is today. Okay, so I have put a custom script in this so it only finds a custom coding, in a bunch of these. So only as well as showing you how far we are from the high. So these are not things you can normally get. It is available over at the $1 Million Margin Club under the Professor's Scalping Consolidation strategy. So we've been going and finding these stocks based on that, and then marking out which one we thought would be best. But we've been having some difficulty with that, finding good stocks, and since I'm trading for a certain period of time, I've been trying to force them. So we've widened this a bit. As it turned out, we did use, this is on this, but AMD was also on the other one I just showed you, but this came up here too. But now this is set for it has to just pass 50K, right? It doesn't have to go past 100 days. So it's going to, and I also lowered the ATR. So this is an idea of what the script is like, that this is a custom coding in here and custom coding here. So this is going to get us hopefully some better choices because it seemed to be the same 6 or 7 stocks all the time. So as it turned out, we ended up on AMD, which is on both scanners, like I was just saying. But this one is now over at the $1 Million Margin Club as well. If you want to get it, it's $4.99 if you want to get that. So they're my sponsor basically. So I try to support them whenever I can, and it's pretty cheap on the down low there. So. But you can just follow along with me. You don't have to pay anything. So if you want to do it that way. Okay, so let's get into what went down today. So it's a big mess now, but this was the stock I traded out in a split second to get out of my yesterday's swing. And we'll go over exactly what that means in real money in a minute. But it is real money, but the way it's reported over the 3-day period since I had a swing on this. So I started basically looking at this, talking to everybody as the market opened, saying exactly what I was going to do, which is I'm a professional quarterback. So what I do is I do trade quarterbacking. That means I call the trades like a quarterback would call the plays. But everybody here is responsible for their own trades. Anybody that trades along, remember that. You should pause and read this disclaimer. I am not a licensed financial advisor, so you really should seek the advice of somebody licensed. But what we do here is we do channel trading. So we mark out each and every stock that we're thinking about trading. We mark the fib levels, and I show you how to do that. So many different videos. And then we mark out support and resistance levels, and then we use custom indicators and just know how to figure out what to do. So in the very beginning here, I got out on this trade and made a nice profit, and that was my opening. And then we waited a little bit. We'll look at the 1 minute, and then we waited some for things to consolidate. And we trade on a 1 minute chart. Now we blow this up so it isn't so busy. This has a lot of really cool indicators on it. You know, the buy sell oscillator, the MACD, they're basically predicting the direction. So it really helps me trade. And these vertical lines going up are basically every 5 minute increment. And they're based with multi-chart alignment over here. It tells you what every candle, what other people who trade different time frames, what they're doing. This is the market pulse that's telling you what the market's doing. This is telling you if it's a trend and how strong it is based on the clouds inside here. This is basically telling you how much of your market cap you would be using. So all of these have a purpose. This is the Scalp Pro meter. This is really, really helpful. So all these are available. I have links to get to any and each. Most of these are all $24.95 if you want to get them. You don't have to have them to trade. You can just trade along with me, although I do not advise you follow me exactly. This is the risk oscillator, which is very, very handy because it gives you a target if you're going long or a target if you're going short. Right now it's actually aftermarket, so things are really slow. But so as we got into the day here, after the first few minutes, this is what you're going to see, although the market magnet, which is these blue levels, won't be here like this because this is it's going to be back here like out of your way and just showing you. But since we're past this already, it's kind of making it harder to read this right here. But this is what you're reading. So what we're looking for is, there's also a half and whole dollar, marking every half and whole dollar, these gray lines. This is where the crowd trades. So between those, the Fibonacci, and any historical data, which I will go through every morning exactly where I pick the historical data. I don't know why that line's right there. That's kind of interesting. I must have set that just before market opened on something. But it looks pretty worthless there. Wow, this just happened right near the end, right? So we were down here trading, and I was setting historical data based on where the stock has abruptly turned around. Haven't come back and looked at this. So you can see that's all it is. And you know, they may not be respected. It may not be a good support or resistance level, but often they are. So between those and the fib levels, which are marked on the high and the lows, or the low and the highs, always left to right. But it could be high to low, but it's always left to right. And those are also giving us levels. And you can see throughout the day how well those get respected, you know, time after time after time. So marking the fibs and then other historical data isn't a bad idea, just to give you some guidelines when you trade. And that's basically part of the large cap retracement strategy. When I trade every morning. So it's fun to come along. Even if you're just trading one share, you might want to come and join. So I think what we did here is we started to trade right in here because it kept respecting this half dollar. Oh, wait a minute. I wasn't on the stock. So that's why it looks so different. Hang on. That's a very different story here. Okay. I was like, God, I don't remember it looking so hard to trade. All right. Let's get this to where it needs to go here. Actually, I should make sure I'm on the right. Yeah, okay. Okay. That would have been a big problem. Let's make sure we're on the right day. This looks way better on the levels that we had marked. So we had an ATR right here. Don't forget those. Those are very important to mark your ATR. Half level is the RV strategy, and the whole level is just the whole level of your ATR. So if you go to a day chart and you open that up, you can see what your ATR is down here when you go over the top of any candle here. It's busy looking because of all the lines, but you know, so having this custom indicator, it saves you from doing the math. But everybody should know what your average true range of the stock is, so you know what its range is expected to be for the day. So as I hover over one of the candles up here, you look at that price down there, and that says $5.48. So that's today, but this is what we looked at yesterday's, and we had $5.54. You would split that in half to mark your ATR half ranges, and then you would add the rest to the close if you just want the whole ranges. So there's tons of videos on how that is done by so many professional traders so that they get an overall range of what they're looking for. God, AMD went way up too, huh, guys? Look at that. So end of day here. So we were down here. We were in this area trading. You can see how it channeled for us so beautifully that we could call the shorts and call the longs. And it was just, I was 100% today on every trade was a success that I called, which is great. Yes, I'm bragging. It's great. So right in here, we started. So let me zoom in, and then we'll come back to it, and I can show you the playthrough of it, not just talk about it, how we traded it live today. So probably about right after that 5 minute, we got in, and then I ended trading right around, just around 10. We had made our goal. So our goal for this challenge is just to make $100 a day. And look at how wonderful it moved for us to go, bank off this level to go long. And then we used this whole dollar to do some trades to go short. And then we used it short over here again, too. And I think I made my goal right into here or right here. Bouncing off that level. So it was easy to call, as easy as it can be at any time, because you can never guarantee 100%. But so that's what I ended up coming back on with Charlie, and that's what I ended up doing with this. She needed to round out her day because she didn't have enough time. We were doing the RV. The RV strategy started at 10 a.m. without me, and then we changed stocks. And we did trade AMD for the RV strategy instead of NVIDIA. This was way set up better for that according to the book. So we did that. So that's a recap of what happened today, but I'll show you the actual trades. But then here is another look at it. So today was 100%. And I've been having some trouble the last few days, 77, 87, and then there was a couple. This one was 81. 83, 85. So, if you don't, the less trades you do, one bad trade throws your average way off. But we go to the calendar here. Now, what happened here is this was actually showing red yesterday. And when NVIDIA washed out and the whole thing got settled, this was lower too, with Apple, it called me green. So that was fantastic. So I don't actually have a red day, as it turns out. So I feel vanquished. So I'm not quite sure. I actually had them on the phone talking about this today, about why would that happen, because it looks a little sketch, But they said, no, you can't go. They were saying TraderView can't read it right. It's too soon to get it, whatever. He didn't really have an answer, but I'm happy that it's green. But anyway, and I also yesterday made a mistake. I was counting the date here like it was actually 22 days of trading and saying we were doing good, but it wasn't 22 days of trading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days of trading. So we're 1,000 over what our goal was. So we're doing pretty good here. Hopefully everybody's doing pretty good along with what I'm calling. Some of these are, I'm trading after. So I get to the $100 for the most part, if I can. There's a bad day too, while we're live with a lower share size than I normally trade. And then I will come on later and round off for a little bit more money. So you guys might be a little bit less if you stopped right when I did. But you can trade the strategy all day long. That's the beauty of it. So anyway, why don't we get right to the videotapes, and we can go, into the video to get into the actual live trading so I can show you what happened. Okay, so this is the actual a recording of the live stream this morning just before the market opened, so you could see the position I was in. So I had swung it overnight, and then we're going to go ahead and start it so you can see what happened on this very first trade. Let me go ahead and pause there. So there's a picture under this picture, and I'm talking. I didn't pause. I turned off the sound. So I'm talking about my strategy, about what I'm going to do. But my plan is I wanted to be at the stock at the open because I thought it might spring up, and I wanted to have an opportunity to get out. So I had a sell order on it, but I took it off. so I could trade it live. I watched this and I was very happy. I waited till it just peaked, and then I got out. And it actually peaked to, I got it 14 cents below it peak. I got out, and then it turned around, and it pretty much faded until way later in the day. So it was a good call to make that money, and that was the first trade. Let's go ahead and go up to the next trade. Okay, so I've switched over to AMD, and like we talked about, I've moved in. We're on the third 5-minute candle now. So you can see these vertical lines are showing the 5 minutes. So it just went into the 11th minute. And on this tweezer move, I had given a support level. I don't know how well this is going to be respected. This is it shouldn't be very strong, but I went ahead with something. And then below that, we have the 56.50 right down here. So remember, half and whole dollars is where the crowd trades. So that could be a channel 57 to 56.50, and this could just be something that a little bit of a guideline. You can see the market magnet's functioning like it should be now at this point, and basically it wants to draw it toward the magnet here, and then you have a resistance level up here, the ATR, and then the upper part of the market magnet, the 50%, and then the 50% low. So we're breaking the low. Typically, this is a spot to go long. It looks like that's about, I can't remember exactly what I do, but it looks like I'm about to go long right here, which would be the play for sure. So let's see what happens here. So I got in at 156.82, and then it dropped right down. We all know how that works. So I only have 100 shares. So now I'm talking about I might average into half my share size at the 56.50 because I only went in 25% of my share size. My total share size could be 400, although I doubt I would get there. 200 would probably be half, would probably be the most I would go unless there's a real long move. And I might just get out because I'm getting burned on trying to build up the share size as it keeps trending away from me. So we have a trending up here. We have mostly up here. So this is an anomaly that it's going down. The buy-sell oscillator, did you see that green arrow? That just turned it up. There it is again. So I have another 50 cent here, and if it hits it, I'm sure I must go in it. Yep, it looks like I'm about to do it. And I'm thinking about buy the bid because I looked at the spread was 5 cents for a second. And then there's 4 cents. But it didn't hit it. It went back up. See if it gives me another chance down there to add to the half. But it's basically going back. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, I missed it there. So I was looking at the bid, and I missed it. So it went down to 51 cents for a second. And that would have brought me up to 200 shares and brought me down 15 cents roughly from this position, which would have been at like 66 cents, 156.66, somewhere in there. So I'm looking for a drop off. Again, there it goes. It went to 48. Did I pick it up? Yeah, I got it. So I'm 200 shares, so 65 cents instead of 60 cents, so I was close. So now I'm in danger because the share size is higher, but I'm closer to it, about 21 cents away from it. And really, I would be surprised if it continued to fade off of this. The sellers were high here on the Scalp Pro meter, but and if you look at the target oscillator, it is beating it on the shorts right now too because of what just happened. But overall, look at the market turn too. Look at that. I didn't see that. But I played the levels, and it's going back up. Oh, I got out while I was talking. Okay, so it got past by 65, and I got right out. So let's see what happens with the next trade. Okay, so it looks like I'm about to go in again. We've moved a little bit further up into the another 4 or 5 minutes up into this, it looks like, and I am still at my 38, and it looks like I am looking to get off this 50 cent level again and then planning to add to it if it goes down. If you look at the Scalp Pro meter, it's important to note that although it's going down, the last candle, it didn't make it to the top of the volume. That shows a weakness there. Okay, so the volume went up, but the sellers didn't make it. So, this is still telling you 100% down. This is a very handy indicator because it's showing you inside the candle. So I wouldn't trade without this. And then this, of course, is telling you it's still stronger going down than going up overall, taking the last 9 candles average. So stronger going down, but it always is before you make your move, right? Because you're planning on getting the dip as it goes down. So overall, I'm going off the level, that little bit of weakness, and I'm also watching the flow here. as I trade this. So let's see what happens. It's going to buy the bid, it looks like, because of the spread with 6 cents there. It's dangerous sometimes when you do the bid that you might, there you can see it held me for a second, didn't get in. So I got it at 51. That's a great, and then I got out right away. It was at 20 bucks for a second. But yeah, it got, wasn't I forget, what was that, 39? I'm going to leave this rolling because, yeah, I do another trade on the same level again. It came right back down, picked me up again, went a little too far, but then it's going to, we're looking for it to rebound. I look here for at least a double digit there, or should I say at least 5 cents, 5 to 10 cents on the move. So tried to get out there at 56 cents. That would be 6 cents, or yeah, so there it is. So those were the two trades, and that got me pretty good, you know, almost 3/4 of the way already. Let's see where the next trades take us. So a few minutes have passed, and it's doing it again for me. So it's just coming right back down. I'm going to play this level again. You can see buy-sell oscillators turning it around. You've got 50 cent in a historical data here on that 50 cent line. And, you know, the sellers aren't quite at the top, but they've been fading here, right? See how the volume's fading? So there's a lot less people wanting to sell, and you had this huge tweezer move here, sending it back up. So really it's due for a rebound, and let's see what happens here. Got in at 47 cents as it dropped below it, and tried to get out immediately, and I got out right away. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next trade and see what happens. Okay, so this is the first time I'm looking at going short. Now it's made, you can see it's come back up where it was stalling out before on a 5-minute chart. You can see here. Now again, it might seem counterintuitive. Everything says it's going up. All right, the QQQ says it's going up. All right, so this meter says it's going up 98%. But this ATR, to me, holds a lot of sway as an area where I typically would reverse when I'm trading the RV strategy. And then it does have a buy-sell oscillator turning around, and it is trying to break that magnet. Every one of these things I think about as a shackle pulling like a living candle back down. I also have a backup historical data up here. But probably if I got in and it went the wrong way, I probably wouldn't come into half my position until it gets 50 cents higher up at the 158 even dollar. I cannot remember what happens here, but I already gave away that I got 100% on the trade, so whatever happens, it must work good. So there we go. Let's see. I got in at 157.55. This time I'm 100 shares short. I remember this trade thinking that I wasn't as comfortable going short because I call out what I'm biased on the stock for the day, and I was long biased for this based on the news. There wasn't a real catalyst, but just generally it seemed like the chip stocks were going to go up. But we have an announcement today with the Feds talking at a banking convention, like maybe he could, what he says, something weird could spur this. I'm trying to get picked up here at 45 cents, 10 cents above. So that was $10 and it picked me up. So that was the end of that trade. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so we're getting ready for the next trade. This is just an amazing move for me to go long with. Now, that might scare some of you because it's such a big, strong candle, but I would like to pick this up as close to the 150 as I can. I can't remember what happens here, but if it broke it, I would think about averaging higher into half my position as it got closer to the 156 mark, 50 cents down. So it's only 100 shares, and I've got a nice big cushion, so I definitely want to go for it here. So let's see what happens. So you can see I'm going to buy the bid. It picked me up 156.87. So that broke the 157, but didn't get down to the 50. So I got in a little soon because I didn't want to lose it. Now I could get our goal right there, but I'm going for a bigger trade because I really think it's going to come back up here. So I'm taking a chance, going to go red for a bit and take a chance. I really wanted to average in higher because I could have done better. So it might give me the opportunity here to average in down here. So you can see I'm hovering over the bid, thinking about doing that as it hits the 50 mark down there, which I had talked about before there. It would be the bid would be this number right here. I want to get it as close to 50 cents as I can. I think it doesn't give it to me. I think it recovers. And then I just take the profit with the shares that I have, which is fine, but it's getting close. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't hit it at the 54. That was close enough. There you go. Did I get in? Yes, I'm 200 in. So now I'm down to 68 cents, 200 shares. Could be a big chance. I've got a big cushion. I'm looking for this to get a buy sell oscillator, turn it around. So I'm looking, you can see already the Scalp Pro meter is telling me that I made a good call. It's got to break back through the magnet here. And I'm looking for a little bit bigger play than I have it. There, I have it at the 78 cents here. That would be 10 cents on 200 shares, so $20 from where I was, which was 94, I think. So it should end at 114, and there it is. And I think that was my last trade because we called it there for the day. And then let's see what happens next. Yeah, what was happening next is I was going over the new scanners again, and then also I was talking about for everybody that was going to go on and trade the RV strategy. And I have a goal of $5,000 a day, and normally I will trade the RV strategy to do that. Often I'll trade the open strategy, which we haven't done since we started this challenge this month, but that's coming up too from Day Trading Volume 4, and the RV strategies from Day Trading Volume 1. Both strategy books, I have links to them. I highly recommend them. And I'm explaining with my hands there about ranges and channels and stuff. So I think what happened today is we ended up picking the same stock I just traded to trade with the RV strategy, but they were trading NVIDIA prior to my jumping in, because that usually starts a half hour after market opens, and we are already past that time. So I'm about to jump over there, and Charlie's over there handling the chat. She does that. So I'm just going over other things for other people to trade here if they want to continue to trade without me quarterbacking what I would look for. And I try to do that every morning along with the news before we start, and just general things to watch out for, because I know a lot of the traders do trade all day, and that's great. Okay, guys, I'm going to see you in the morning. Thanks for watching. I hope some new people watch this video, and we see you over there. It is totally free to trade. How about that? You don't find that many places, and and you can actually make money with those people. So if I do say so myself. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Always stay inquisitive and go green out there. I'll see you soon.